Previously on 20 Ways to Die.
Perhaps you can help me.
Help you in what way?
You see, I am Talis the White. I was passed over for the ability to hold on to the white dragon mask. My family is not a violent sort. We seek influence and wealth, but would prefer to do so without the crude, barbaric tactics you saw at Greenest. Now, I would be willing to help you get to Parnast, and from there, on to Skyreach Castle, where the majority of the Hoard is being held. In doing so, you will agree to bring me the white dragon mask, and if Varram dies in the process, I have no quarrel with that. The Wyverns just climb and climb up higher. You guys are traveling east through the snowy mountains towards Parnast. So you guys are on top of the Wyverns, flying in a loose formation through the skies, and after about 15 to 20 minutes of travel, you can start seeing the town in the distance. You guys have covered easily, 10 to 20 miles in a short amount of time. Below, you kind of get a view of the town as it's coming up. You can see that on the edge, there's almost a chasm and a cliff where connected to the town is a large castle, and there's a large bridge that goes to the castle that runs into the town. So the town is in view, so you guys are kind of circling and going to find a landing spot. So you guys can see the town of Parnast below you. It looks to be more of a village than a town. There's a couple dozen houses, a small square which you see in the center, and again that large just kind of castle with, you can see ice. Some of the walls are made of ice, some of the areas are frozen, and this ravine where the bridge goes across towards the south. Otherwise, Talis points and she leads the way as the Wyverns drop down, and she's kind of like indicating this area or this building. So she lands her Wyvern, and the other Wyverns you guys are riding also follow suit. You guys land into what's next to this large stable. There's two big doors, and as soon as you guys land, some stable hands come out, and you guys are able to land with a little bit of control, and the Wyverns seem to have made this trip many times. But the stable boy takes the Wyverns and guides them into the stables, and you guys are now on foot in Parnast. And Talis turns to the group and she says, "Right, well, this is the village of Parnast. I must go ahead and make preparations to see what stage we're at with the hauling into the Skyreach Castle. I trust that I can leave you to your own devices without you causing any trouble."
No, how about I do whatever you were talking about doing. Just go sit down and relax.
She said, "Well, I need to see on my own what the stage is of all the hauling, and I can't have someone who might be recognized by the other cult members."
Perhaps you could disguise yourself and go with her, Floristone?
Yeah, how about I do that? I'll dress up as your husband and stop somewhere to make it convincing, and then be on our way. And
Well, I don't think I need you to disguise as my husband, but perhaps if you have some trust or separation issues, then you could disguise yourself as a cult member, but keep silent as I go about talking to people I need to speak with.
Oh yeah, no. If you can count on Floristan to do anything, it's keeping silent.
All right. So she points out this this building down here in the southeast, and she says, "That is the Golden Tankard, the local inn. The rest of you meet me there in about 2 hours' time, and we will discuss how we'll gain entry to the castle."
Now, you tell me perhaps there is a blacksmith here, someone who can help me with my weapon. Where would that be?
Well, if you go over towards the main gates, you should be able to find someone to do whatever blacksmith works you need. There's also a wheelwright in town who does a lot of the smithy work. He does both jobs. I believe his name was Gundolin or Gundelaine. I cannot remember, but ask for him, perhaps at the inn, and I'm sure you could find him easily.
Excellent. I see you 2 hours. Bye-bye. And Lee walks off to go try to handle that business.
Okay, and Floristan, go ahead and do your disguise self, or whatever you. Is that what you're using, or are you just using the robes?
No, I think disguise kit.
Okay. Use your disguise kit to kind of make yourself look different, and you head off south with Talis. And the rest of you are standing there, and you guys see that there are a group of guards kind of milling about the square in the center of town. Other than that, they're kind of keeping a watch on the villagers coming and going. You wouldn't say that the villagers seem that they're oppressed at all. It seems to be kind of the normal goings on, or either they've been under the cult's control for a while. But the guards are there keeping watch on everything, but they're not being overly aggressive or anything like that. Where do you guys want to go?
Lee heads off to by the town gate, I think she said it was, and tries to find the not the wheelwright, the first person she mentioned, I guess.
Yeah, so you head down south. You see over here this building on the right. It looks to be a shrine of some sort. It's a wooden building, and it has a chopping block and a bunch of axes, and it seems to be a shrine for woodcutters. Some of the statues that are represented, or some of the gods that are represented, you see Aurel, Shantae, and Miliki. Otherwise, next to the woodcutter shrine, you do see that there is area kind of off to the side where there's a small smithy, like the anvil with the water and all that. It doesn't look like it's extensive. It looks to be more for shoeing horses or, mending some of the tools, but otherwise it is there, like a little lean-to off the side of the shrine.
Okay. I go inside and look for somebody in there.
Okay. You walk in. There's no one there at the moment. The shrine, you notice one of the statues has been defaced. It's all scratched up. The face is all like carved into. So these are wooden statues, but it's all carved into. The hands that the statue had have been sawn off or chopped off, and then there's a dead squirrel at the feet. But other than that, it's empty.
Okay, which statue? Should I make a religion check or something?
Sure. Do a religion check.
I rolled an 18.
Alright, so it's the statue of Angharada. It's an obscure elven deity that represents spring, like the season spring. And the other three statues are the other three seasons. So Aurel for winter, Shantae for summer, and Miliki for autumn.
So you said only the spring one was defaced?
Yeah, it's strange. I guess they don't like spring.
It's strange, but yeah. And then the winter statue had a dead squirrel left at the feet.
That's kind of fun, though.
Sounds like they just don't like elven deities in general.
Well, but hang on. You said they only defaced 2 of them?
Only one. Only one's defaced. The other one, there's a dead squirrel lying at the feet of the winter god, or the statue, and the statue of Miliki, which is for autumn, actually has small cups, some bits of bread, like little kind of, handful of berries. So there are some small sacrifices in front of that statue.
But I think the dead squirrel is more of an offering, or is it like an omen?
Yeah, is the dead squirrel an offering or an insult? I don't know much about that deity. Oh.
It doesn't seem to be defacing it, but
Okay.
you're not quite sure about the customs. But it's more of a basic or primal religion almost, like just kind of like the old gods, like the real
Right.
simple. All right, here's a sacrifice, and then you're done.
And the castle was like covered with like ice and stuff like that, right?
Yes. Yep. There's a considerable ice and build-up along the walls and the towers.
Okay, so it makes sense that they're not happy with spring, being the thawing season, and they do like the autumn and the fall, right? Autumn leads into winter, and winter is the cold. So
Right.
that all makes sense. So this just I don't see anything to be super concerned about here. Let's kind of
Okay.
let's see if we can get your dagger chain. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go see if we can
So
get that done.
Lee's gonna like knock on the counter. Hello, anybody in here?
I wonder if perhaps they'll have something
Oh, we can-
magical to on the off chance they have something magical to purchase. I'll look into that as well,
Okay.
just in case.
Let's maybe not draw too much attention. People asking around about magic items tends to draw heads. I think we kind of want to keep our heads down.
We have a perfectly good reason to be here. We are servants of Talis. We're part of her retinue.
And don't forget that. Don't forget what like gender they are, like with Resmir.
Yeah.
Like before.
Who you talking to, DM? No one in particular.
Let me go ahead and. Okay, so you guys look around. Sorry, and then there's no one around this area or this shrine. It's kind of like middle. It's kind of like afternoon time frame, like just missed lunchtime.
Yeah. All right. I'll head to the tavern and ask for someone that can help me with a smithing issue.
Okay, so you go into the tavern. It's pretty nice. There's a yellow tankard that hangs over the door, and as you're coming in, a tall, heavy-set man. He has large mutton chops for sideburns, and he steps forward and he says, what can I get you travelers?"
I actually have a question. I'm trying to find someone who can help me with a little bit of smithing. Maybe I buy ale for everybody. Good terms. Don't want to be cheapskate in here.
Yes. If you're going to purchase some, why don't you go take a seat at that table? We have beer for 3 copper, some strong mead for 1 silver, and as well as some sausage and stewed cabbage with some black bread for 4 copper for a plate. But please take a seat, and I'll see if I can round up Gundolin. I'm sure I saw him around here earlier.
Oh, Gundolin, that was his name. Yes. We are here with Talis. She told us we could get him to help us with some things, but we are on tight schedule, she say. He puts 3 gold on the bar and go, here, drinks for everybody.
He breaks into a big smile, and he scoops it up, and he's like, "Well, friends of Talis are certainly friends of mine, and please take a seat, and I'll bring out our finest meal and some drink for everyone." So he
Well,
Sounds good to me.
People are in the tavern, and like, what kind of people do they look like?
It's like maybe 4 or 5 villagers. Looks to be that they're taking their lunch break from work. And then you see the innkeeper. He goes over and he's like talking to that group for a second, and then they motion to the back, and not a couple minutes later he's bringing out another guy who looks to be the man you're looking for. He has the sleeves rolled up, pretty solid looking guy, like definitely a life of labor and working, but you see that he's kind of hesitant to come forward, and he's not necessarily resisting the innkeeper, but he is very hesitant to kind of follow him, like he doesn't want to help him almost. But you guys go to your table, and around you you're like 2 tables over is the other group, and they're just talking about the season and their crops and and really no mention of the cult or anything going on like that.
Okay.
All right, so as you guys sit down, Ragnar comes and brings all the food and everything forward. There's some of the servers come out and they set plates for you and drink, and Ragnar like, oh yes, here, Gundolin, over here. These are the men that would need your assistance. And Gundolin is kind of shuffling over, averting his gaze, and Ragnar's like, yeah, well, just let good old Gundolin know what you need, and he'll make it happen. And he walks back to the bar. The group of 4 or 5 villagers finish up, and they leave the tavern. So now it's just you and Gundolin in the room. You guys are sitting there. Gundolin shuffles over, and he's like, I will write by trade, but I do some small smithy work as needed, of course, for the betterment of the cult. And he has like a little bit of venom in his sentence as he mentions the cult.
Lee stands up and gives him a little bow. Hands in front of him, little nods his head, and just goes, "Oh, most excellent to meet you. I just have small request for you. You see, I have this knife, and I am looking to add a chain to the end of it. Would that be something that you could accomplish perhaps in the next hour or two? I can pay very handsomely. It is for me personally. It is not a favor for the cult. It is just for me, but I would very much appreciate it."
And do you already have the chain and the
I
knife?
do. I have chain, I have knife. I just need somebody to connect the two. And I can pay you very handsomely.
Look, you guys always come in and push me around and want me to get things done fast for you, and I got my own list of things to take care of. I suppose I could get to your knife and chain the next couple days, but I got too many things going on right now.
Lee's gentle, passive, nice look on his face disappears into a frown. And he goes, "Perhaps you did not understand me. I say I need it in the next 2 hours. Now you are going to make this happen. Understand?"
Come, friendly. How much inducement would you need to put this in as a rush order? We're willing to pay extra.
You think it's always about money and strong-arming me, and all you cultists are all the same. You take over our beautiful town and just turn it into whatever you want to do, and just your little base of operations, and you don't think about us who've been here for generations.
Bold word.
I am going to grab him by his shirt collar,
Okay.
pull him up close,
Step up at this point.
and whisper in his ear, "I am not just offering you money. I am offering you your life. Now we are not with the cult."
And he's like resisting your grip as you're trying to like shake him and grab him by the collar and strong arm him a little bit. And then as he's trying to get out of your grip and your last words are, "We're not with the cult," he relaxes a little bit and he looks at you and he's like, What do you mean? And he lowers his volume considerably.
Lee, what
We
did you
should
tell
take
this
this
man?
conversation elsewhere.
You guys can't hear me. No, the room's empty. I'm going to whisper in his ear again. "Do you not recognize the heroes of Green Nest when you see them?"
Oh, Greenness, that's far to the west. No, I haven't heard, but come, let's go to the smithy. We're away from prying ears.
I go, "Most excellent. Thank you." I leave another gold on the table as we leave.
All right, so you guys kind of grab your food or finish up, and then he leads you over to the blacksmith. The little blacksmith area where the shrine of woodcutters is, and he's like, "So, look, I've been living in this town all my life, and the cult took over about a year ago. But again, if you truly aren't with the cult, then what are you planning on doing?"
It's very simple. We are here to destroy the cult. But we need your assistance in that regard.
Well, I don't know how I can assist. I mean, I don't I definitely don't want them here anymore. But unfortunately, a lot of the rest of the town just kind of went along with it, especially when they brought their private army in, and really we couldn't do anything. The people who resisted in the beginning were put down, and the rest of us just have to go on with our lives.
I am not asking for too much. I just need assistance with my weapon, perhaps my friend's weapons, and that is all you have to do. You don't even have to know you are helping us. You are just helping cult members as far as you are aware.
Okay, well, here, let me see what kind of chain and knife you're looking at doing.
I pull out the dagger of poison, and I pull out the whip chain that I procured. Where was that? Not Karnith. That was with Onthar and them when we first got equipped way back in El Terrell.
Okay.
Wow.
So the chain he takes, and then you pull out it's the poison dagger, right? The dagger of venom.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
pull that out, and he's like looking at it, he's like, wow, this is quite a intricate piece of work.
I only need last piece of chain disconnected and attached to the end of the knife at the bottom of the handle right there.
Okay, so you start explaining to him how to connect it or how you want it done, and it's like, oh, well, I got to say this will take me a little bit of time. I don't suppose any of you are know what you're doing around a blacksmith.
Do I look like Forge Cleric to you? Yeah, just work faster. Less talking, more pum-pum-bello, yes?
All right, well, this is going to take me a couple hours, but I should be able to get it done before nightfall.
Is there anybody else we can get to help you? We are on schedule here.
I'm not exactly skilled with Forge, but if I can offer aid.
I mean, do any of you have proficiency with blacksmith tools?
No. Shame I'm not playing my Dwarven Forge Cleric.
We can do some con saves about helping him pump the bellows to keep the fire hot at least.
Yeah, I guess you could do kind of basic labor stuff to help him out. So yeah, if you wanna stick around and help him do the work, or like help him with things that carrying stuff and moving things and pumping bellows, then you could do so.
Alright, well that's where Lee's gonna stay. I don't know if you guys all want to do that or anything else you want to look into.
I'll go. Premise? What did you want to go do?
Well, no, I've got a couple spell books I got to look through and some scrolls to copy over.
Nerd.
So I'm probably gonna go nerd. I'm probably gonna head back to the tavern there, get another or get a pint.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much paid up for the
On
day.
Lee's tab, of course.
Yeah.
'Cause he's so.
I'll head back to the tavern with you then.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually have a set of playing my
Lee.
or do I just have proficiency?
Lee, before we leave, I know you need these things done, and that you've been waiting a long time for these things, but we need to keep a low profile.
I am helping with basic blacksmith work. That is low profile as you get.
Grabbing people by their shirt collar and threatening their lives in taverns isn't low profile.
I mean, I was whispering that in his ear. That was, it just looked like I pulled him close to say
Does
something.
Brom
to him.
have that one feat that lets him read lips?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe he does.
Yeah, but I don't think the bartender or anything else. Like, it wasn't that obvious.
Right.
It might have looked like a slightly angry whisper, but it wasn't a scene per se.
Regardless, low profile. No
Yes,
fights.
yes.
No tavern brawls. No pickpocketing.
I would never. I do not steal like that. That is not my specialty.
All right. So Lee stays there. You guys go back to the tavern, and Ragnar greets you like, "Oh, you left your food right on the table. It's still warm. I tell you, if you guys need a room for tonight, I could offer you my own chambers for only the small sum of 10 gold."
That would come with a lot more than room. Sorry, I'm not there.
We'll consider the offer.
Well,
But in the meantime, you obviously are the tavern keeper. You hear all the gossip and rumor around town. Anything of interest? It's been a while.
Ragnar thinks for a minute. He's like, well, there's not too much I guess gossip going around. The villagers are working through, and I say we are very blessed to have you guys in our town, and we've definitely increased our production as well as the wealth. I'm sure you saw the new fountain built in the town square, and of course your fellow cultists guarding the area from any thieves or threats from the outskirts. And you see he's definitely pandering to you guys.
glad to see that the cult is bringing good improvements to your village.
Oh yes, of course. It's great. Oh, in fact, let me see if I can bring a special item. We don't bring it out often, but for a gentleman such as yourselves, this would be worthy. And he goes and digs around for a bit and comes out from his back room, and he brings a golden stein that's decorated with dancing dwarves and like patterns of wheat and grain on it. And he says, here, watch this. And he speaks a command word, Iliffarn, and the tankard immediately starts filling up with just this rich ale. It has a good aroma to it, and he starts pouring it into your glasses.
That's quite a clever trick.
Yes, that's quite a wonderful magical item, and on special occasions I'll bring it out.
There you go. That's
Thanks.
appreciate it. Thank you.
So tell me, where do you guys come from?
Originally, we're from all over. At the moment, we come from Talis, France.
Yes, that's well. Talis is definitely very particular, and we always give her the finest room when she does grace us with her presence, although it's quite rare.
It is quite rare. We're here for a brief while as we inspect some of the cargo coming in, and then we'll be off again.
Oh, lovely. And speaking of Talis, we'll switch over to Florestan and Talis. So, meanwhile, as your party members went into the tavern for the first time, Talis immediately went south towards the bridge that leads to Castle. So, as you're walking, you guys are walking along the road, and Talis kind of turns and is like, remember, keep your mouth shut.
So, you come here often?
No, I do not.
What's your favorite thing to drink?
What part of keeping quiet do you not understand?
No, but I mean, not like if I were to buy you a drink, what would you want me to buy you?
I have no
God
need
damn it,
for your drinks. I will
No, I'm
purchase
not
my own
saying
drinks.
right now. We're doing something right now. I'm saying afterwards, once we put all this behind us, we're gonna have some time, right? I just want to know what I get you to drink.
Jimmy's body is barely cold, you bastard.
So she just ignores your last comment, and she briskly walks towards the bridge. And you see at the bridge, there's a couple Dragonclaw cultists as guards, and you see like a large form kind of lumbering in the distance, or in one of the kind of towers, but you can't tell what it is. And the guards immediately kind of snap to attention and throw out their sign with the outstretched palm. One of them has his fingers, 3 fingers held back, and
Yes, carry on. Good job.
and Talis like shoots you a look, like just and she says to the Dragonclaws, she says, "Where is Captain Othostan?" And the one of the Dragonclaws answers her, and he says, "Ma'am, I'll go fetch him right away." And he runs off, and not too long, he just kind of goes into the gate and the towers of the castle, and he comes back with a large man who's wearing full armor, and he's ordained with purple robes. You can see that he's very much the guy in charge, and all his armor and weapons are top of the line. And he comes through and He's like, yes, well, Talis, it's good to see you. What can I do for you? And he's definitely kind of treating her as a peer and not as like a higher up.
Hey, Talis, are you going to introduce me to your little friend here?
This is Captain Othostan. Please be quiet. This is one of the newer members of in my charge at the lodge. He has still not learned to keep his mouth shut when is necessary. And
I don't say anything to that.
I don't know what.
We sent the wrong person with her.
He turns and he says, "Well, Talis, we weren't expecting you, and everything is on track to get hauled in, and by morning we will be on the way." And Talis stops and thinks for a moment, and she says, "Well, we leaving so soon. I thought the travel wasn't to occur for another 10 day." Captain Othostan stops for a second and says, "Yes, well, recent developments has caused Lady Resmere to speed up the timeline. So we will be leaving in the morning once we're done hauling everything in. Shall I alert Lady Resmere to your presence and prepare your room? Will you be joining us?" And Lady Talis says, "Yes. Please prepare my normal room, and I have brought some of my charges from the lodge. 5 other.
Just the one room's fine. We'll be fine with the one.
5 other members. Quiet down. 5 other members from my lodge to room in. And we will be on the castle before you leave in the morning. If you need me, I will be at the Golden Tankard." And Captain Othostan nods his head, and he gives you another glance, Florestan.
I'd put out my hand to try and shake his hand.
He looks at it for a second, and he with confusion, then he looks at Talis, who is this guy? And Talis puts your hand down and is like, "Yes, praise Tiamat," and she gives him the salute and walks off.
No, it's fine. I didn't want to shake your hand anyway, guy. I'll just leave now.
He stands there glowering at you a little bit.
Yeah, you got a pretty face, don't you, guy? Yeah. Okay. And I just turn around and leave.
Okay. So you go back to the Golden Tankard, and there the rest of the party has returned with the absence of Lee, who you actually passed, and you see him working the smithy with one of the locals, and he's singing probably one of his folk songs like he did when he was tied up, and going to work, helping out as much as he can. You guys enter the tavern, and the innkeeper Ragnar is like, "Oh, Lady Talis, please allow me to get you a fresh bowl of stew and some drink." And Lady Talis says, "Yes, a glass of wine, please." And she goes and sits down with you and is like, "I trust that you guys did not bring any attention to yourselves."
No.
Not as much as usual.
Right. Well, and when will your friend be joining us from the smithy?
I assume as soon as his dagger's done.
Whenever they're finished, yeah.
Well, the castle will be... yes, thank you for the wine. Ragnar, a bit of privacy, please. And Ragnar goes back into his room, and she says, "Well, the castle will be leaving in the morning. We must be on there before it goes. It is a castle of great magical works that is able to travel through the skies."
I was about to say, the castle is leaving.
The castle can fly.
Yes, it is in fact a flying castle with great magic and the help of the cloud giant Blagothus. This castle is a great boon to the cult.
Now, you're talking about this castle like a metaphor, right? It's not like a castle that can actually fly, because that'd be stupid.
No, I think it actually does fly.
I think she is speaking of a
It's,
little castle that can
Yeah, no,
literally fly.
it's metaphorical
Flying
though.
castle.
There,
Flying castle like it takes you places.
Nah.
Great
For
level
you,
up
it can be
position.
metaphorical. Sure.
there is no metaphor I speak of. Blagothkus is a cloud giant of great power, and we were able to use him to allow us to use his castle for our
Oh,
own
a
means.
cloud giant! Why didn't you say so in the first place? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I believe I did mention
Like
that
the
earlier.
giant Floristan I met back earlier, and all this other stupid stuff that definitely exists. Yes, okay.
So, yeah, it just seems odd to me that a cloud giant would work with the cult, because I think giants and dragons are supposed to be natural enemies in Faerun.
She's like, well, yes, there was a little bit of persuasion needed, and I was not a part of it, but he has been forced to help the cult, I guess I should say.
That makes more sense.
Now then, we'll be leaving the night. We will not be sleeping here. I do not trust Lady Resmere to hold on to the castle for the morning. I would guess we should be on it before then, in case they try to leave early.
Sounds like a fair plan. Oh, we should go collect Lee, dagger finished or not. Get on it as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Right, and remember to wear your robes, and once we're in the castle, I don't know how long the ruse will be able to hold up, but just remember that we're in dangerous territory.
Fair enough.
So you're gonna want someone with you to be like a bodyguard, aren't you?
I need no bodyguard.
Yeah, but I mean, if anything could happen, right? This is any territory. You're gonna want someone with you who can keep an eye out for danger and handle anything that comes up.
Sounds like
First
wrong.
time. This might be enemy territory for us, but it's not enemy territory for her.
No, she's colluding with us. It's enemy territory.
Just remember that although I have full reign of the hunting lodge, at Skyreach Castle I am just another servant of the cult.
Naturally.
My rank will only get me so far within there, especially with Lady Resmere about.
Fair enough.
Cult politics, then.
Alright, so what do you guys want to do in the meantime, while you're waiting on Lee?
Well, I'm going to be copying over a spell scroll to my spell book.
Okay.
It is Featherfall, and I need to make an Arcana check. And if it's, I think the DC is 10 plus 1, 10 plus the spell level. So,
I'm gonna give you bardic inspiration.
oh, wow, the bard's being useful.
You're inferring he wasn't useful before?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that back then.
Oh, that's going to be super easy.
25 Arcana. Okay, looks good.
So that is Featherfall. Nice.
Might be
Currently
useful.
now no.
Okay. So Lee, you're starting to finish up the wheelwright. Although his specialty is mending and forming carriage wheels, he's actually a pretty good smith. You guys get done, and he's like, oh well, I don't quite know if I've seen a weapon such as this. And he like hands you the finished product, and it seems to be attached securely.
Lee steps outside with it and swings it around him a few times, testing it out,
Okay.
getting a feel for the new weight with the dagger attached to the end that wasn't there previously when he's been training with it.
He's like, whoa.
Floristan walks into it while you're swinging it around.
Yeah, you're away.
I
You're
trim the
different.
nearby hedges, take off a chicken's head.
So you do like a nice little.
All the cards are going to attack
Why don't you
like
go ahead and give us
Skyrim.
you can do acrobatics, and I want you to do acrobatics and a performance roll separately, and then I'm gonna add them up.
Okay. 13 acrobatics.
Okay.
That was my good one. I'm screwed.
And now with your performance, plus
For performance.
Solid 5.
so you,
Solid 4.
so like you're moving around really well, and you seem to be very agile, but for some reason you just can't get the chain to like wrap around properly around your arm and swinging it around, and you're definitely struggling with it, and at one point it even like wraps around your ankles, and you like stumble to the ground, and you like try to play it off, and you like kip up onto both feet quickly, and you like, he's like, oh, that's interesting. Is that how it's supposed to work?
Yeah, it's just I a little bit used to a different weight. I just have to adjust a little bit. It's okay. It is definitely very solidly made. I'm in your debt. How much do I owe you for your services?
If you guys are truly who you say you are, then just free us from this cult's oppression, and that's all the payment I'll need.
Lee will make it a promise that he will destroy this cult and free your town.
Be careful.
He gives him
Not everyone
a bow.
Not everyone is as disloyal as me, I guess you could say.
Then I will kill them.
And he doesn't take that very well, because still like his
or not. If they offend, maybe. I'm just saying, if they try to fight in defense of cult, then I will take care of them. But anyone who is on the fence, I will leave alone.
Yeah, just remember, a lot of them just simple town folk. It's the cultists you wanna clear out.
I will definitely do that. Thank you very much. Would you like an ale? I am going back to meet my friends. I can get you a drink.
No, I'm done for the day. I gotta get back to work.
Very well. Thank you very much.
You're
He
welcome.
walks off.
Okay, so you go back to the inn.
Still swinging it a little bit. Not quite as flourishy. Just sort of generally trying to feel for it.
Every now and then you gotta stop and just like untangle it from a tree or a fence post or something like that. But otherwise, you're doing pretty well.
I had experience with this thing in the past, man. It shouldn't be that bad.
Well, it's been a while. You're a little rusty.
Now, Grimmeth also wanted to try finding a general store, I guess, of sorts.
Okay.
So I can get a couple, I think they're called scroll cases that I can like attach to my belt, so I can easily grab a spell scroll to cast it.
Okay. So you ask Ragnar about some general provisions and stuff, and Ragnar thinks for a second. He's like, well, I don't think we have anything like that, but sometimes we get a traveling merchant that comes in every couple months. We haven't seen him for a while, and I got to say that we have been getting less traveling merchants because of, well, you know how your guys' bosses are. They don't like a lot of strangers coming in.
Yes.
But in any
Very
case, are you guys staying the night? And
No.
Talis like speaks up for you. She's like, yes, actually we are. Please prepare my normal room, and then a separate room for these men. And
Waiting for Florestan to say something.
yeah, I guess not.
Florestan knows going home with her, so he's not worried.
Florestan. It is not proper for a member of a noble's retinue to contradict her.
I'm not contradicting. I'm silently agreeing, knowing later on.
Right. We'll keep appearances up, and once it's nightfall, we will head to the castle. Does anyone have a problem with that?
No.
No.
Nope.
How long till nightfall?
And she peeks out the windows and she says,
Well, it's more of a question to the DM than her.
You guess
What's time the sunset around here? I don't know.
probably like 4 hours or so.
Plenty of time.
So she says, I will retire to my room and prepare whatever necessary spells I may need. Do not get into any trouble, and I will meet you out here in the hallway once the sun is set.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Sounds good.
Where are we going?
Florestan tries to follow her into her room.
No, I'm talking to you.
Alright, so Talis goes off into her room and shuts the door. And do you guys want to do anything in the meantime, or do you guys just want to wait it out?
Definitely short rest. I don't know if we did since our fight with her back.
Oh yeah, that's a
in the
good plan.
lodge.
Yes.
So as long as we've got 4 hours, I definitely want a short rest.
Okay.
Short rest is only 1 hour, so we definitely have plenty of time.
We have 4 hours.
We have
Yes.
4 hours. That's why I'm
Is
looking
there
at all
any
the...
chance that I could take like half of a long rest?
I don't think
I don't
that's
think
Something back for that?
No, you can't do half of the long rest.
Half of a long rest.
You have to
You're
spend the
not-
whole 8 hours.
Yeah,
God
you're not,
damn it.
not an elf. Not an elf.
Not enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
I
a
don't know if
half
half
elf.
elves can do it.
I knock on Talis's door in the middle of the night.
Oh boy.
Well, it's
Here we
not.
go.
It's not nighttime. It's only like evening,
It's like,
or
what,
5 or 6.
Like,
Or
I wait
five.
I wait an hour and then I knock on her door.
Okay. She answers it after a second. She's like, "Yes. What do you need?"
Yeah, I had some questions about what we're gonna be doing for the next hour.
Again, I need to prepare spells for our travel into the castle.
Great, no, I can help you.
Go
Let's go.
go return with your group, and we will talk once we're ready to leave.
We decided that I'm gonna guard you though, so I just have to make sure.
Yep.
Let me come into the room.
She's-
I'll just take a quick
She
look around.
slams the door in your face and locks it.
I knock again.
She says, she doesn't open the door this time. From inside, she says, "Be gone from me. I have things to do."
I
Okay.
have to. I have to say, I admire your dedication to your character.
Okay. You want to play hard to get. You're putting on a role for my friends here, but they're not. They can't see anything. They're in their room. It's just me and you right now. Let's talk about this like an adult. You just open the door. I'll come in for like 10 minutes. We'll have something to drink and talk about it.
I'm sure High Perception Brahm heard the door slam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I figure Aravan probably had a good chance of hearing it too.
I'll probably Grimmeth as well.
Feel free to grab him by an ear and pull him back.
I'm gonna walk over to Florestan and I'll just kind of put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Buddy,
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay."
but we were supposed to. But me and her though, we were supposed to be
Buddy.
sad.
You need to learn how to take a hint. Sometimes she's just not interested.
hmm And the other side of that coin is sometimes they're too interested, and that also needs to make you skeptical. Remember the changelings?
No.
It's lost away in his memory. Bad
Well, to be
memory.
fair, he was like attacked without realizing what had happened and
That's
like
true.
went straight to
That's
death
true.
save.
Oh, did
so.
he have a whole surprise round?
Yeah, he got smacked around pretty hard.
Okay, I'm willing to compromise.
Okay, let's hear this.
I will stop.
Let's listen to this over a drink, though. Yeah, let's head
I
back into the
will.
bar.
I will stop knocking on her door, but I'm gonna sleep outside right here.
No.
In case she changes her mind, I want to be here, right?
Florestan, we're not sleeping, remember? We're
Okay.
leaving.
Okay, he's
Okay,
not a
but-
kid. He's not a child. This is Florestan, like the Florestan. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, with mind of a child. So
I'm trying to help you out here, man. Just trying to help you out.
Aren't you a famous bard?
yeah, with the mind of a child. But I'm just gonna stand outside the door and she changes her mind. You guys can go take a nap or whatever you're doing.
Florestan, we cannot have you standing outside the door. Come on.
Lee's meditating in his room and he just cracks one eye open and goes, "If I bust them again, I come out, I kick your ass. Tired of these."
All right, that convinces me. I'm heartbroken, but I'll go back into the room.
All right, you guys get your short rest. So you rolled some hit dice.
Yeah, I'll also be copying another couple spells. But
Wait,
these are from spell books, so
Were
There's
those
a roll
like
involved?
trying to get back HP because you can add a D8 to that with Song of Rest?
Oh,
I'm at full HP,
sure thing.
which is why I wanted to take a long rest instead, but oh well. There's just no way to do it.
Perfect.
Well,
Full
okay.
HP.
Do you guys want to? So you're doing your short rest. Do you want to try to talk to Talis about taking a long rest and see if you can rest long enough to get?
Yeah, let me talk to her.
I don't think we have time,
No,
right?
yeah,
I wanted
we
to
don't
get
have
on
Well,
it.
I mean, what are we going to be doing on this castle? There's one
That's-
question I would want to ask. Like, are we going to get on there, and since it'll be nighttime, pretty much, we're just going to room up and
We need to get on
take
it.
a long rest, or? And what about this? The guy that has the white mask currently.
Yeah, we're trying to find Varram the White here.
Mhm.
So
Varram the White.
Varram the White. I believe he's a dwarf.
Dwarf.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
So we need to be on the lookout for that, but we need to also blend in as much as we can. I look directly at Floristan. We need to not make scenes.
What do you mean?
We need to not make a scene. We need to
Okay.
be in. We need to be
Yeah.
quiet.
Okay, I'll talk to
Okay,
Lee.
okay,
Make sure he
hang on.
knows.
I have an idea. Floristan, you're a bard, right?
I'm
So
the best
you
bard
know,
that's
I
ever
bet-
lived.
I bet you know a ton of great stories about warriors like sneaking into the dragon's den and I don't know,
Yeah, do you
stabbing
think
it in its sleep or something.
do you think Talis will want to hear a story?
No.
Maybe
Bear,
later. Maybe
bear,
later.
bear with me here. Bear with me here. When those warriors sneak into the dragon's den, do whatever they're doing sneakily.
Yeah.
They do it quiet, right? They don't go in making a lot of noise and
Well,
drawing
no, because
attention.
that'd be dumb. You don't want to make a bunch of noise. Be sneaky.
Exactly. We need to be like that. Remember, we are sneaking into the dragon's den here, so we need to be as sneaky and quiet as possible.
Okay. I guess I'll try, Aravan.
That's
Right.
that is as much as we can hope for.
Best we can get out of them. I'll try.
What is our exit strategy here?
Featherfall.
Well, yeah.
Originally, our strategy was just to get off the damn castle, but
So
now
have
it's going to
we
be flying.
have we leveled up?
You guys did
We're
last
level
session.
7.
We're level
Okay.
7 currently.
Okay, so I mean, worst comes to worst, I transform into a flying dinosaur and we run. I mean, we have an exit strategy.
Do we?
I have dimensional door. I can turn into a dinosaur.
What's dimension door? 500 feet though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That'll be the difference between living and dying, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
I don't suppose we're taking the Wyvern's castle.
I don't.
Well, if it's currently floating, then we're gonna have to get up there somehow. The Wyverns make the most sense.
No, guys. I was just at the castle. It's not going anywhere. I was just there. I talked to Talis' stupid little friend, and the castle. I mean, it was a nice castle. I mean, I'd like the castle, but it was a castle. It was on the ground.
Floristan,
Okay.
let's make this interesting.
Yeah.
I bet 500 gold pieces that this castle flies.
I've never seen that much gold in my life. I currently have more gold than that in my pocket. I've never seen that much gold.
Open your wallet.
This amount, you mean?
That's how sure I am that this castle flies. Are you
you
willing to
wouldn't-
take that bet?
You're not messing with me, are you? I know that people like to take advantage of me because I trust people.
Floristan,
Is that what
you
you're
trust
doing?
people. I'm trying to explain to you how much I believe this castle is going to fly.
So you've seen it. Okay, but
No,
I have
haven't
never
seen it
seen a
fly.
flying castle. But I
But we
also
walked through a
cannot.
portal and ended up in a mountain range. If the cult is that
That's weird.
powerful, it was. If the cult is that powerful, I don't doubt that they've mind controlled or taken prisoner a cloud giant that's making this thing fly.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm just saying, you don't need a wyvern to get up there because it's on the ground right now. Last time I saw it.
Right. But I'm trying to think about how we're getting off of the castle once we've kind of killed one of the high cult leaders and
Well,
reinstated someone.
I'll just talk to the cloud giant, and then we'll
Well,
work a deal.
you know, I bet there's a dragon on the castle.
Lee cracks
Also,
open an
I'll
eye from his
talk to the
meditation
dragon.
again and just goes, "Ay-ya! Can nobody meditate in peace around here? Talis obviously have exit strategy. You think she gonna be trapped on castle too? Calm down. We
Yeah.
talk to her later. Get your rest in."
My worry
Lee,
is
aren't you
Talos
supposed
is
to be a criminal mastermind? Think about it. Her exit strategy may involve turning us over to the cult.
Yeah, I don't think your exit strategy involves us.
No, if she bring us onto the castle, then she cannot turn us in. Everyone knows we with her. She will seal her own death like that. She must have different exit strategy. We speak
If
to
she
her
wanted to
about it,
kill us,
you
she
know.
would have killed us back at the lodge.
But Tannis doesn't want to kill us.
But no, what if her plan is to use us to eliminate her rivals and then arrest us?
That is her. Well,
That is absolutely her plan. She's going to turn this on us.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
You
She's
just
going
leave-
to turn
You
this on.
just leave Tannis to me.
Talos.
Talis.
wait,
What,
is
have
it-
you never played
Talos-
Skyrim?
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't Talis Skyrim?
That's Talos.
Talos.
This is Talis.
Talos.
And
Oh,
then
wait, it is-
Tanis is from Dragonlance. Tanis half elfin.
Yes. Yeah.
That's okay. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Is there any other alliterations we need to go through?
So.
Our trump card, as it is that we will hold the White Dragon mask. If she wants it back, she will help us escape. Until then, we do not have to worry.
Actually, out of character,
Well, there-
I have a plan for that, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Yeah, out of character, I have slow fall.
I
so fuck
swore
y'all.
I swore an oath
Well,
to her.
I have.
I did swear an oath that if I could kill the guy with the gnome with the white dragon mask and obtain it,
Dwarf.
No,
I
dwarf.
would return it to her.
It does not mean we return it to her instantly. We return it to her when it is tactical for us to do so.
Or return it to
Also
her
a good
permanently.
Also a good plan, but the point that I was going to make is that we should make very sure that I am not the person to deal the killing blow to this gnome.
Dwarf.
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 Same
all
thing,
the
same
same.
thing.
All the same to you, huh?
Because the point is, I swore that if I kill the dwarf, if I don't kill the dwarf, I'm home free.
Then you're just gonna have to, hold back that bloodlust and not do anything.
I must say I am so proud of you. You are learning how to be a criminal with a code of honor.
Wait, we're
Wow.
criminals?
No, we are not criminals.
No.
Lee does some shady things, but he's not a criminal.
Criminal nothing. This is
As far
this
as
is
we know.
this is basic military tactics and strategy. Deception is the heart of warfare.
I'm the good guy.
Ah, yes, I've read Sun Tzu as well. I did not know you are versed in this great show book.
All right, so time passes. You guys are able
So,
to kind of get your rest, your meditation, copying of scrolls that you need to do.
Yeah, just to note, I'll be learning Fog Cloud and Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Sweet!
And you guys are kind of talking. You can hear the taverns beginning to fill up with people, and you can hear the noise coming from dinner getting set up and ready, and seems to be the meeting place every night for all the townsfolk. But you can hear
We should
down
probably-
below it's filling
I
up.
want to go down there and start playing a song because I haven't done that in a while, and then that's
Okay.
a bard too.
See,
No.
Floor stand. No.
your party's
Remember?
grabbing you
That
before
was
you
like
get
the most innocent actual bard thing I've done yet today. And you're all freaking out.
You just gotta let me be me.
Floor stand.
Yeah.
You are a very very well-known bard. If you go
Oh,
down
thank
there,
you.
if you go down there and start playing your beautiful, beautiful music,
The best.
yes, the best.
You
are
will
gonna
attract a
know-
crowd.
Yes, and people
Well,
are
that's
going
the
to know it's
point. How else are they going to hear my music if there's not a bunch of them to hear
But
it?
remember, Floristan, we are the heroes sneaking into the dragon's den right now. The crowd is not very sneaky.
Can I play you a song?
on the way to the castle. Yes.
Okay. I'm placated.
Placated. Okay. All right. So it's start to be nightfall, and you hear a small rap at your door.
This is for me. I get it.
I said a hip, a hop, a hip, a hip. Don't stop.
I open the door.
All right. Talis is standing there. She's like, "Yes. Okay. It is time. Let us leave."
All right, guys. Talis and I will be back in like 10 minutes.
I think we're all going.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and now Floristan starts singing "Careless Whisper."
So Floristan's like quietly singing to himself as you guys are walking out, and you see that when you guys come into the main common room, a lot of the villagers just kind of goes a little bit quiet, but they kind of look down to their bowls. A couple people are giving small little salutes to Talis as she goes, and they're trying to show a good face, I guess, to it. Ragnar gives a hearty smile and it's like, "Oh, well, you guys ready for some dinner?" And Talis says, "No, we'll not be having dinner. We are heading out for a walk this evening." And Ragnar says, "Oh, well, very well then. Perhaps a drink to warm your bones on your walk tonight." And she's like, "That would not be necessary." And she continues out the door, and Ragnar is like holding up some steins, like, "Are you sure?" And you guys are like walking out.
Lee
Sorry,
just
friend.
goes, when we get back, I definitely I buy another round when I get back. It's okay.
Oh, great. Okay. You guys walk out into the evening. The sun's like setting. There's still a pretty good amount of light. You walk down towards the castle, and you can kind of get a view of the castle itself. You see that it has these towers on the side, and it's built almost into a mountain. And this mountain has these spires coming off of it and fortifications, but the mountain itself is just covered with ice and snow. It almost looks like it's just a block of ice in some cases. And the towers and the man-made structures around it are held in place and wedged into this foundation. But you guys come up to the gate, and there you can see that there are a couple wagons that are actually being brought in still, and they're just overloaded. You can hear the creaking of the wagons, kind of stressed under the load and amount of just weight that's on it. And they have a tarp over it, or a covering, and some of the dragon claws are kind of around there, assisting the hauling of this wagon. And they're kind of blocking your way into the gate. And you see the two guards at the front are like, "Yeah, all right, well, yeah, come on, give it a push, get it over this bridge." And they're struggling to get the wagon to get it with enough momentum to get across the bridge.
Need some help?
Yes, sure. We're supposed to be taking this in to haul into the castle, but I don't know if it's stuck on the bridge, or maybe it's just too heavy and the incline's too steep. It's hard for us to get it up.
That sucks. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
You
here.
said it was blocking our way and we couldn't get in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys could probably go around the wagons over the bridge or around the bridge, but you'd be skirting the edge of the bridge, and it'd be difficult to just keep your footing.
Ah.
Lee jumps up on top of the wagon and walks across.
All right, you hop right up and go ahead and as you're walking across the top, why don't you give me a dex save?
I don't have Featherfall
13.
yet.
All right, 13 dex save. All right, so as
I
you're
don't have
walking,
it prepped yet.
as soon as you jump up, the wagon's fine, but as soon as you start walking over where the tarp's covering, your foot like sinks in, and it's just metal and loose coins and whatever kind of loot that they have on the wagon, and it kind of sinks in, and you shift over and you kind of fall on your hip. You're still inside the wagon, but you fall over a little bit, and then you're able to get back up. But it's hard to walk across this like pile of loot and gold.
Florestan thinks he can do better than that, so he follows.
And they're like, "What? What are you guys doing? You're causing it to sink in more into the rut."
I ignore them.
We gonna pull from the front or something. We'll see.
Or something. All right, so Florestan, go ahead and give me a dex save then as you're trying to walk across. All right, 15 dex save. So you do the same thing. Your foot sinks down. You don't fall onto your hip, but you do fall and are enough where you have to kind of steady yourself with one hand on the edge of the wagon, but you're kind of like walking across like a ball pit or something like that, where your legs are just sinking in, and you hear
I'm
like
super smug about it too.
Oh my god.
you're trying to
This
be
is ridiculous.
trying to be smooth, and you hear all this stuff like clanking around as you're walking, and two of the guys are like frantically trying to make sure nothing spills out. Like, ugh.
This is ridiculous. You guys get off the damn wagon. I will try and lift it and push it forward.
I'll aid Aravan in this.
Okay. So both of you go ahead and do athletics.
Time out. So if it's like as soon as they decide no, we're gonna try to do it, then I'm gonna give them both bardic inspiration.
Okay.
You're really using those bardic inspirations, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
can't use them for myself, so I'm giving them out.
So
Well,
let's
you get
see
some
how
more-
we do.
That's right.
Short rests, so.
Okay. So athletics. Oh,
Ooh, nice crit.
That-
27.
And how much is a bardic inspiration?
It's a D8,
Brom
but
with
you
the
don't
16.
have to use it right now.
Total of 20.
Yeah, you have
I
10
don't have to use
minutes
it
to-
right now? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you
thought,
don't.
never mind. Ignore that. I wouldn't have used it then.
Okay.
You choose the check or the roll you use it on, but you only have 10 minutes to do it. So.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know it was limited.
Well, save it
10
for another
minutes.
10 minutes from now.
All right.
We might need it again in 10 minutes.
So even before Lee and Florestan can slide off the wagon, Aravan and Brom come up behind, and they just grunt for a second, and then the wagon starts moving forward. They're just like, "Ugh," and then it's moving forward, and they push the wagon, and you see the horses the draft horses that are front like start kind of helping you pull a little bit, but you're able to get it moving and over the bridge. You guys are
the 27 Aravan like straight up deadlifted the whole back of the cart.
But yeah, you guys push it through. It's these supply carts filled up with all the goods, and as you're going through this lower drawbridge, it's just this foggy moat that you're crossing over. There's a open portcullis in front of you, and you can see these large figures looming in the gateway. As you get closer through the portcullis, you can see that there's these two life-size statues of cloud giants on either side. One is male and the other is female, and they're facing each other within this covered gateway. But the looming figures you see as you're coming through are actually three ogres that are standing guard inside the tower.
So, oh, go ahead.
They give you a passing glance, but otherwise you go back to watching outside the tower windows.
Alright, so the walk over here, I'm gonna hand Florestan one of the sending stones.
Hell yeah.
Knowing that he is the most likely to get apart from the group and in some trouble.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him.
I take it as a vote of confidence.
Yes. I'm gonna tell him, so if you ever get into trouble or away from the group, Concentrate on the stone, and you'll be able to send us a 25-word message, I think.
Okay.
And I'll be able to reply. And so tell us mainly where you are, what happened,
Okay.
and if you're in trouble, you need help.
All right. I start walking away. Florstan mumbles to himself something about a flying castle. Like, yeah, right.
So, you guys come into the main courtyard. The towers that are over here is where you saw the ogres that are inside, keeping watch. Once you clear the gate, Talis turns to you and she says, "Right. Well, they probably weren't expecting us to enter at nightfall, but again, I didn't want to risk the castle leaving without us. Perhaps we will continue our rest for the night. If you need it, there are barracks over here," and she points to the door down south to the right. It's like that's the cultist barracks where you'll find a couple of open cots, I assume. Again, don't draw any attention to yourselves. Or, if you choose, we can press forward and try to use our timing to our advantage. But I need to talk with Captain Othostan again and see if Varram is anywhere to be found, and also if Rezmir is around too. I assume she's already in here.
Well, what do you guys think?
I don't think delaying is going to be our best option here. I think pressing
At the
forward.
same time, we need to make sure that they're actually there.
Yeah, make sure they're actually here, and see if Rezmir's here.
We will wait in cult barracks for you to determine if they are here. If they are, we will press forward.
Great. Okay. Again, don't
Yes.
cause any problems, and remember, some of these cultists may know of you from past exploits, so be careful not to show your faces too much.
I'll keep my helmet on. They won't recognize me. I only got this armor recently.
Okay. I will come fetch you from the barracks in the morning.
Unless they are here, and if they are here, we wish to press on tonight.
Right. If I find out that Varram is within the castle, then I will wake you. It is not uncommon for Wear of Purple to grab any of the cultists for any kind of tasks in the middle of the night.
Excellent.
So Talis goes away, and you guys go up to the cultist barracks door where you hear like some talking inside, and as you guys are about to open the door, the talking kind of stops for a second, like, who's there?